Rajal, you can start.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope you and your families are safe indoors during these hard times. A warm welcome to all of you to the eighth day of the webinar series organized by KS School of Business Management on positive leadership during COVID 19. Yesterday, we had an amazing session on building resilient organization in the uncertain times. So today we are going to discuss about two topics, that is simple recipe for social media success and work from home challenges and advantages. So I would like to invite our two speakers for the day, and I feel proud to tell you that both the speakers are alumni of KS School of Business Management. So our two speakers are Ms. Megha Jain and Mr. Devang Patel. With respect to today's session, if you have any questions, feel free to ask on the circulated WhatsApp number. So let's invite our first speaker of the day, Ms. Megha Jain. She has been working in digital marketing domain since last 8 years and for small closets and big international clients. Her whole career has been working on social tactics for big giants and have been knee deep in this stuff. She has been a gold medalist of Care School of Business Management in marketing stream. She has also worked in Pharma Knowledge Center as an assistant general manager and also worked at G. Design, Magical Concern and Jamnada's Publishing House. So, without any further ado, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rajal.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, hello everybody. Let's go ahead and start today to dive in on a simple recipe for social media success. Now, as a small business, you may have heard that people really need to be on social media in order to grow their business, but the thought of how to get started with, which channels to be on how to engage with people and get the results that are going to grow your business. All of that can be seen overwhelming. Now, we know that as small business, we don't have a lot of time or resources in order to keep up with social media. And that's really why we are here today. It's powerful, but I'm going to try to take some of that burden off of you so that you all can start getting results with your efforts. Now, let's take a look at why social media is so powerful in today's day and age. People really want to be able to find and communicate with you on social media. They're going to be searching for you there. The truth is, about 21% of consumers are more likely to buy from brands that they can reach on social media. And today, we are going to talk about some of the ways and reasons that people are going to reach out to you, to find with you, and interact with you. Another benefit of social media is that you're going to be able to influence your audience. One statistics here shows that about 37% of consumers' purchasing decisions are actually influenced or inspired by their friends. Social media's post, and that's something really going to help you to spread the word about your business or organization. Another benefit it is that if you're a nonprofit, social media is great because people want to show and share their information for the cause that they support. 84% of people choose to share information that's going to help them to spread a word about the cause that they are really passionate about. Now, the statistics right here, there are just a few reasons that you should be scheduling or you should be using social media. Now, today, we are going to touch base on how you all can get started without spending a ton of time and getting that overwhelmed feeling. Let's go ahead and take a look at our agenda. More specifically, we are going to talking about choosing the right social networks for your business, and that's going to depend on a lot of factors, like your industry, what are you are all looking to accomplish. Then I'm going to provide you a 15-minute social media plan where you are going to be able to accomplish a variety of things in order to meet some goals. Lastly, I'm going to talk about how you can really grow your business with advertising in today's pay to play world of social media. Now, let's dive into details and talk about how people can choose the right social network for their business. I often hear about social media needing to meet just three goals for business, and that's awareness, customer service, and action. And although these goals are separate, they are really closely tied together. I'm hoping I'll be able to take you through each of these business goals a bit more so that people can understand what they are looking to accomplish a bit better. So, first up is awareness. As it relates to social media, I do have an example. Look back at several years ago and having a telephonic number for your business, right? So, if you have a pizza shop in your local town and you didn't have a phone number, how would people even reach out to you and order a pizza? They would just go to yellow pages and they would not find you. So, social media is kind of like that. That's where people are starting to glow to look for your business. And so, if they're not finding you there, then you don't exist to some extent. I think that's probably the top most common one, but there is also or other factors that are going to relate to this as well. So, next one is customer service. It is important. Social media in today's world. So now they found you, they want to talk to you. And so your customers, in fact, who might be younger and that millennial might be coming to you for customer service, as social media is the primarily way of connecting with you, right? They're not going to pick up the phone and call you. They're not going to necessarily email you, but they're probably going to come and check out if you have a Twitter account or Facebook page. In fact, it's something like for 45% of consumers, social media is the first channel they visit to complain and also to give praise. Unfortunately, complaint is its kind of the first case, and so you want to be there to answer the question because people who find a brand that has good customer service are actually likely to recommend the brand. So, now they found you through awareness. You have to be there to back up and have that engagement as well. I mean, let's be frank, we are not in business or we are not working for or non-profits just for our wealth. We want things done. We want to be either sell more or do more for our causes. And so, if we are not getting people to take actions through what we are doing on social media, then it's really pretty much a mood activity. So the awareness is great, the customer service is really a must have right now, but you're not getting them to get all the way you want. You need to grow a business, then you got to rethink what you're doing. Let's take a look at some of the social media networks that people could choose from in order to get started on social media or engage with the customers and their prospects. And today we are really going to be talking about this top five that have proven to drive business. They have been around for a while. So, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. We have seen businesses have really got success in them. And of course, there are tons of other platforms out there, but this are great. They have so many robust capabilities, and one of them is social advertising, which is something that we are going to be talking about later today. Now, at a higher level, there are some of the things that our audience needs to think about in order to pick up the right platform for the business. It's really about the audience that you're going after. So while each of these have instant audiences, there are, a little bit of overlap as well. But you want to focus on where the audience that you are most interested in spending its time. So, not to get ahead of ourselves, but I must say, Instagram is going to lean itself towards the more visual audience. Facebook may be a more local audience. So, if your business aligns with the platform's audiences and you are going to want to spend most of your time there. Now, take a look a little bit deeper about some of these platforms we are talking about today. First up is going to be Facebook. It's probably the largest social platform, and I've seen a variety of types of businesses be successful here, like B2Bs, meaning business to business, also software companies, luxury goods and services, and even those non-profits. Now, I do have a tip of people who are going to be using Facebook. Yeah, I mean, it's the place that everybody is right there. There are billions of users across the globe that are accessing this platform on a daily basis. So, if you're looking just to get in front of these people, this is where you're going to find the most people. And obviously, a lot of activity is occurring on this channel. As well as I spoke a bit about nonprofit, and I think that's really a good place to start. Where Facebook has taken a lot of time recently to build out tools to benefit nonprofits who want to participate in their platform. In fact, I'm sure many of the folks who are on this webinar go to the Facebook feed right now. They may have probably somebody who is having a birthday and is raising money for a nonprofit that they care about. And that's great. That's awesome. It's definitely raised a lot more funds for nonprofits. And it's just kind of a tip of iceberg when it gets to some of these newer futures. The platforms are developing that businesses and nonprofits can take advantage of it. Definitely, of course, events calendar, which is really more important because people get notified when you're posting your business events on there. So definitely great to have in. The sake of time, let's go ahead and move on and talk a little bit about Twitter. Now, this one is super fast paced, at least in my eyes, because it's so news driven. And of course, it's really great for anyone who is into retail, non-profits, of course, the media industry like newspaper, any sort of media outlet, or journalism. Just as some of the most common users now, tips for people who are going to be using Twitter. This is my favorite platform by far, and I don't know what that says about me necessarily picking this over other channels. Maybe I might be less visual, maybe I'm not an Instagram person, but it's a great channel for storytelling. A lot of people say, well, in just 142 characters per tweet, but for now we have 280. You must just say so much in little space, but they again are building new tools to allow you to thread tweets, to create custom videos and custom link elements and visual components. They just actually rolled out a new fleet feature literally within the months that makes it a lot more like an Instagram or like a Snapchat. And so it is a place where you can create tons of content in other channels. We are going to find you get a little limited and either what it takes to make really good content, or the platform will actually penalize you for posting too much. But on Twitter, we don't see those things. So it is a great place to put out a ton of content about your business. Let's take a look at Instagram a bit. This one is, of course, very visual focused for those of you who are already a little bit familiar with it. Of course, it's great for bakeries, coffee shops, concerts, venues, anyone in the travel industry, and just about any type of retailer. Now, with Instagram, I've heard that stories have become most super popular on Instagram to you now engage with your audience and get them interested. Instagram in general is the place to be right now. Like we talked about earlier, if you have a visual business, if you are a bakery, if you have anything that I described as selling a FOMO products, so as fear of missing out, product like food, drink, thing, purchase, more from Instagram and then any other channels. You may have probably heard that a lot of these platforms are limiting your quote organic reach. So you might have 10,000 followers on Facebook or Twitter, but every time you post, you reach a couple of hundred, right? And that feels frustrating on Instagram stories. So much of that limitation or those limitations are gone away. You actually can bypass some of those organic reach by using hashtags and location tags and other things to actually get in front of new people that are sort of have been taken away from us on this other channels. A little bit about Pinterest. This one is really great for, of course, anyone who is visual again, or any type of visual business, I should say, such as interior designers, wedding venues, and just about anything to do in the food service industry. For this, Pinterest enables because real power to it is getting people to share content on your behalf, right? So they pin things to their boards, and then you get that awareness equity that we talked about. And so there are easy ways with WordPress and website builders to actually optimize your pages so that they are inherently more cannibal. Now let's touch base a little bit on LinkedIn here. It's definitely last but not the least, but it's more professionally driven. And it's not so much based on people's personal interest. And I would say it's probably has more of a unique audience in general. But probably one of the most common things is everyone thinks it's just for B2Bs or business to business type companies. but it's also great if you offer luxury goods or services and even non-profits. LinkedIn, here again, it goes back to thinking about your audience and how they would experience your content on this channel. So the way I look at it on to all the other platforms up to this one, we have talked about how you talk to them. So you certainly want to share the things that are more professionally aligned. You want to do those things that put up your business and even your people on what audience. There are different people, there are different platforms, is different. So you have got to be sharing a slate, at least a slightly different message on every single platform, so that you don't alienate on people who might see those multiple messages. So now we have covered this top five platforms, and now I know the thought of social media for a lot of small businesses, it can be overwhelming. And we hear the question all the time, do I have to be everywhere? There are so many to choose from, and the truth is, you don't have to be everywhere. To be honest, you probably don't have enough time to be on every single platform. So, my recommendation is for you today is to choose one or maybe even two social media platforms so that you can really focus your time and your energy on those. That's what's going to help you figure out what's working and what doesn't work for your own business or organization. Now, another question or comment that I hear a lot is how small businesses don't have enough people to follow them. One of my strategies is to actually get out there and start following people, and typically they follow you back. So, my piece of advice is that, folks will sometimes say, oh, it feels a little spammy. Like, I don't know if I want to do that. And maybe even other experts in the industry would disagree with me, but you want to do it in the right way. Now, 15 minutes social media plan so that we can get everyone started with the kind of content they should be sharing. And of course, you're going to take this 15 minutes, and what you all want to do is break it down into 5 minutes for each of these goals. Of course, to gain awareness, provide customer service, and get people to take action. Spend 5 minutes each on those every single day. Now, this shorter amount of time is going to make the effort that you're putting out, they are more manageable. And the great thing with this is that over time, you're going to be able to start to learn what works for your business and what doesn't, so that you can make business better decisions. Now, also, that means, once you start doing and you start seeing results, you're probably going to be spending more time and resources if you can get someone who is strictly in the role of social media for your business, because you will be active and getting people to really take action. And I knew it was going to come up, but people just ask me, how many times should we be posting on the social media channels every day? Yeah, it depends on three things: how much content you have, how much time to dedicate to being on social media, and then the most importantly, the platforms themselves and how they look at how much you put content out there. So one of the question we actually got was about, what's the sweet spot and how many times to post on Facebook a day? And the answer is actually about two, and that's a maximum of two. So there is an unwritten rule on Facebook that you shouldn't be posting too closely together. Usually, we say there is a 4 hour window. You want to post everything at least 4 hours apart. Otherwise, we'll quote and talk you. In fact, but it's one of that a lot of folks in the industry really kind to be live by, and it's one that we are live by on Twitter. There it is a lot there. But the more ability for you to post content, as we said earlier, and so you can post several times a day, and you do a really lot good work there. If your audience is there with Instagram, it's just about one a day, and you have to put and add the content. You can post more posts, and from stories perspective, you can have 100 slides on your stories, and as long as they were all interesting, where it would be something that could really benefit the audience. Now, some of you may also still be shaking in your boots a little bit, but breathe a sigh of relief, because not every post of piece of content has to be something that you own. This is a great way to share what's happening in your industry, and kind of for the what tools I would suggest, how people find and curate content that they can reshare to their own audience. So you have got one up here on the slide, which is Twitter Advanced Search, that I use every single day. So it's the how do you going to be back to how I said people are just saying the name of your business without tagging you? This kind of tool will help you very quickly and easily find those people who are talking about your business. You can also use it for the people who are talking about specific topics. You can find people, as you can kind of sort of this picture, you can find people near certain locations using certain right words. So this is how you go and find those people, and this is how you want to follow and get that follow back by searching for people who want your product within 10 miles of your location. It will give you all the tweets back about that content. So that's one of the really great ones. And even the second option I would allot is Google alerts and things like that into one location. So you're getting all of your industry news basically sent to your inbox, or other applications. Now let's move on to our third section, which is how to get started with paid social media advertising. Now, social media in today's world is really going to be great, and there have been recent trends and changes in the world that unfortunately limit your organic reach. If people can find you by just sharing that information we have talked about. So, really what you need to do is with your strategy. Strategy is you need to add in social media advertising to help you reach a specific target audience now. I would be able to just touch base a little bit on some of the changes and how social advertising are so important in today's world. So years ago, we had 1,000 followers on Facebook, and we could reach 850 or 900 of them every time we posted. Now going back to 3% model, and we have 1,000 followers on Facebook, and we just reach 30 of them. And that's just the very nature of this platform. Now we have 2 billion users, and many brands and businesses are using this platform. And we have to figure out how it gets the right content to the right people. So it is fortunate for us because we don't get that free source of traffic and engagement and awareness anymore. But luckily, all five of these platforms, which we were talking about earlier, have really robust and easy to use self help tools for advertising. So, everybody, and I would say the first and probably the most important step is actually to target the right audience on your channels. And social media is actually to target the right audience, which is great. And that's what people out there, so that you can be very specific with your targeting. Now, from what I have seen, again, this is probably the most important part. If you want to get results from your advertising, a common scenario I hear a lot is that someone wants to be able to grow their email list or get new customers within a certain radius of their location. And this is really one of the big reasons why social media ads are so great. They allow you to get really specific with your targeting so that you can accomplish something like this. So my advice for setting up a target custom audience is, I would say, think about it a lot. Like hopefully you're thinking about your email marketing or other such specific marketing, and getting to those segments and really think on what are those segments of your business that you actually want to go and get new customers in, right? We can also add in another layer for your targeting, and that's what we should narrow it down by demographics, locations, behaviors, and interests, depending on what kind of ad set you might be doing. I would like to add another lookalike audience. Now, what exactly it is? So, they are probably most mature on Facebook's platform, but is becoming available on a lot of the other platforms as well. It is the ability for you to take a list of your emails that you have for your customers. So maybe constant emails that you're holding, or you are an additional email database of your customers from your CRM, and directly upload it into Facebook. And then Facebook has a ton of information on the people behind that email, which I'll pause and acknowledge is a little bit creepy, but they take all that data and say, okay, so your customers base kinda looks like this. We will go find you a bunch more people who look exactly like that person. And it can drive really great results at the same time. It can also generate a very large audience. For example, if I create a lookalike audience, we cannot start at about a 2 million audience size. If you just do what's called a one person lookalike audience, but once you have created that lookalike audience, you can absolutely pull back and distill down the data further. So you start with this big lookalike audience and say, okay, well, give me everybody's who is within 5 miles of my business. So it is a great place to start with the people you already know who really like your business. Now it is an optional feature on Facebook, and especially now how those someone decipher whether they should use a lookalike audience. Talking about again that it can capture, it can make a little bit of bigger audience then maybe most businesses want to start with, but it is good if you do have a business where you need to reach a broad swath of people. So a million of two users or people you're trying, maybe about to sell online, and they really are that many people who might be prospective customers as well. But this is also really good for folks who, might feel intimidated by Facebook tools. So, building a custom audience in Facebook can be one of the most powerful things you do, but it is those who have a learning curve. You have to get in there and understand what all are targeting capabilities in this. Thousands of targeting capacities and capabilities at your disposal. Will it look like audience? You upload the list on Facebook. So, say here is the people you want and you're off and running. So, it's really good for those two types of people. So, in the sake of time, let's go ahead and talk about designing an ad. One of the easiest ways is actually to use a lead ads tool. I currently use Facebook lead ads, and then soon they have one for Instagram as well. And these tools simplify the process a bit more. So if you're just getting started and feeling overwhelmed, think about that and really consider it. Now, lead ads are just one type where you get them subscribed to your email list. But depending on your goal, you can accomplish just about doing anything. You could get them to like or follow you on your page, purchase a product or anything. And then, of course, Instagram has those story ads, video downloads, just about anything. You know, if you're not sure what kind of advertising you should be creating, think about other marketing that you have done, especially email marketing is there, about any topic or anything that got your current audience to pay attention and take action on something. Think about that when you're creating your advertising because that could be a good place to start. Next step is really engaging any leads that you might get. So if you're using a lead ads that I like mentioned before you to want to get started engaging people right away. So if they're going into an email program, set up some automation tools in order to do that. If you're asking them to like your page, make sure you have got content on there that's gonna be out going out, and after that you have set up your ad so that people can really be engaged with you, videos or whatever type of content to meet a further goal and get them to take further action like purchase a product or sign up for a membership. Now, the last step, which is reviewing and revising results for future ads, just don't run one ad or really just with anything in marketing. You have got to do it more than once. So you can really see what works. So test one idea with your advertising each time and see, if you can get that costly down, if you can increase the leads, you get the impressions up anything along those lines. Now, of course, you want to look at these statistics that are really direct with your advertising, like the impression in the leads and everything. But I also want to encourage you to think about the end result. So, what to purchase a product, you want to know if you actually get people to purchase that product. One question what you want to consider in terms of average cost for lead. How do you know if you are on the track? Then there is $1 million or $2 million, depending on a business or organization. No silver bullet, but you have to think about what is that lead. So what's the lead's value? Value. So, if you are in a real estate, for example, and every time you get a lead and you sell a house, you're making tens of thousands of dollars. Well, lead's gonna be worth a couple hundreds to you. But if you're a bakery and you wanna get a couple of people to subscribe to your newsletter, yeah, it should be dollar or $2 per lead. So you got to be really understand what you're trying to get out of it, and unfortunately, no number one. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your social media knowledge with us. So, we have few questions for you. So, the question is, what will be the use of social media, or how should we try marketing for a small business?
Could you please repeat your question? I'm unable to hear you.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. I asked that what will be the use of social media, or How should marketing for small scale business?
They should start by making their awareness about the business through whatever platform suits the best. This is what I've already covered in my presentation.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. And once again, thank you for your session.
Thank you.
So now let's move towards our second session. And before that, I would like to introduce our second speaker, Mr. Devang Patel. He has about 20 years of professional work experience and is currently associated with Redbricks Education Institution as a project leader. His professional interest includes business coaching and consulting for growth and business modeling for startups. So, without making much of your time, sir, I would like to hand over to you.
Thank you very much. Are you able to see my presentation?
Yeah,
Is the first slide visible?
yes, sir, it is visible.
Thank you. So I appreciate efforts of Jairaj sir and the whole committee team for organizing such a wonderful webinar perspective on post-COVID leadership. Well, it has been a long time since the day it has happened, and around 70 days have already gone, and much has been spoken about all of these. And thanks to Ms. Jain, the earlier speaker, she also presented a beautiful perspective. I would thank all the committee members who have done a lot of work, and I understand and I respect and acknowledge how difficult it is to one to organize the speakers and second to collect the students, which are very few in number usually. The topic is very simple, but the implications are very large. The topic is work from home, positives, negatives, or kind of insights and challenges. I'm currently working from my home. So actually, this is a work from home assignment also. Before I begin, I'm feeling very nostalgic. Are you able to see the slide? Feeling nostalgic?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So I'm feeling very nostalgic because the firm belief which I have before I begin is that always, be it COVID crisis or be it any other crisis which comes to you, if you go back to your roots, it gives you power to fight any crisis. Now, when I turn back to the day we were there in the institute, as the presenter rightly mentioned, that we are a part of the first batch, I'm a part of the first batch. And if I visualize 93 to 98, and in context, if I visualize 2020, around 22 years after we have graduated, things have changed. The whole philosophy of technology taking over learning, the whole philosophy of technology taking over work, the whole philosophy that world has now become boundaryless, and students, faculty, corporates, others are willing to learn more, is helping me to go back to the roots, is helping me to understand that what is going to happen. I am also very clearly relating to the fact of the challenges that the current outgoing batch may be facing. And I relate it to what was happening to us when we were in 1998. Even though 22 years have passed, and even though technology has taken over, and obviously work from home has replaced work in office, but the challenges, the perspectives, the anxiety has remained the same. I'm strongly confident. I don't have a comment section, otherwise I would have asked you all. But I'm strongly confident that some challenges which the students may be facing now are similar to those we also were faced. What will happen with our placements? Will our company want us to work from home? Will our company call us to work from office? Will we get a job at all? Will we get a job which suggests, which defines our persona? Will we be able to make a career? Are we equipped to go into the larger corporate world? We have been given marketing, finance, HR, or other specializations. Are they enough? Has the college education of the 5 years prepared us to go to the larger diplomacies and the war at the corporate world? These were the current challenges and future challenges. And COVID thing, yes, solutions are available, and work from home has emerged as a opportunity because, as I rightly told earlier, fear and crisis always represents opportunities for growth. But it depends on the way you see it. Dear students, work from home or work from office or work on the field, work will remain work, isn't it? I don't understand why do we end up believing that work from home would mean not going to office at all. Work from home would mean no targets. If you are in HR, you still will have to complete the recruitment targets. If you are in sales, you'll have to do Zoom meetings. If you are in finance, you still will have to generate the corporate funds. If you are from IT, you will have to still write the code which you have been writing or which you would have to write sitting in office. I don't think at a personal level that change of location of work, be it home, be it office, will change the way perspective is there. I want you to see the whole thing in a very positive manner. Dear friends, understand the fact you are at the beginning of the career. A long corporate career, a long entrepreneurial career, a long self-employment career awaits you. Should it matter where you work from? Actually, assume you this whole COVID thing was not there and you were employed by a company, irrespective of whether you were in marketing, finance, HR, IT, whatever, and you were employed by a company at a very good salary, and you were told to actually work from your home without being in COVID. So in pre-COVID terms, the work from home would have meant there is no company office. What would that mean? That would have meant you have started an office from your home. That would have meant the local chai tapri or the cafe or maybe a work office space or maybe a friend's home or maybe the client's office was your office. The only employee was you, the only branch head was you, and the only document that you carried was your laptop. So work from home is not a new phenomenon. The COVID thing and added to it the technology thing just has added a simple lever of anxiety and pressure. I don't think it is a new phenomena in the corporate world. It was always there, it will still be there. It is not the work which is important. It is not the industry in which you're working is important. It is not the role that you take which is important. It is how you see it. If I'm doing a go-to meeting or a Google meeting now and sitting in my bedroom maybe or sitting in my workspace which I've created in my home, does it matter? You are bothering about the quality of the session, friends. You are not bothering where from the content is coming. Well, our life currently in these tough times, COVID times, we are in a process of writing a story. I would want to diverge a bit, but I want to tell is that a story is actually known by the challenges that you face. Imagine you are the hero of your story. Imagine currently there is war. Imagine after 5, 10 years, 15 years, you are going to share to your children or your faculty colleagues or your friends, or you will take a similar such session what we are taking, and you are going to write history. You are going to shape your future. You are going to tell to the outside world that we used work from home as a tool. We accepted and embraced the new normal. We fought the fear without anxiety, and life and nature and even environment gave us an opportunity to reskill, upskill, and cross-skill ourselves. And we did it. Won't it be fantastic? So rather than seeing it as a challenge, rather than being nervous, rather than being anxious, my humble urge to you before we go ahead to the main topic is that understand that you are a hero or a heroine maybe, and you are crafting a story. And current situation is where you are actually crafting a story and invite more challenges. In my limited corporate career, I have been a consultant, I have been a business growth coach, I have been a performance coach, I have 2, 3 failed and good startups. I worked with large conglomerates within Gujarat, and I was an academic. I've shifted careers. Life is very long. Small events should not come and disturb you in between. We should keep on telling ourselves, life is a game, it's a challenge to win, and stuff happens on the way. Maybe 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, it's a stuff. It will happen. It will go. We have to be proud of doing everything what we are doing. You will be out in the placement season now. Better you equip yourself with working from home. How and why? Let us discuss further. Actually, God and nature has given us a unique opportunity. Whatever we were running away from, kind of until now, has come back to us. Amongst other things, working on and with technology for a professional advantage is kind of one of them. What has happened is, therefore, work from home with using technology or without using technology has a beautiful opportunity. I don't know within your MBA syllabus how many entrepreneurs have you been able to study. But if you see all great entrepreneurs, world entrepreneurs, be it Facebook, be it Hewlett Packard, be it Google, be it anyone, they actually started from home. And even they did not start from home, we call them garage startups. They use this small space of the garage to start their work. You go to any entrepreneur, entrepreneurs actually start from their home, right? I don't know from the limited people, those who are listening, how many are wanting to become entrepreneurs. But if you're wanting to become an entrepreneur, there is no choice except for you to work from home. So let us go ahead. For those friends who are wanting to start corporate jobs in whatever capacities you can, I humbly urge to you to take work from home as an opportunity to grow and work for yourself. It is a good opportunity always. And I'm very kind of humorous here. For those who have seen the ad of Tata Sky or others, those who have come up with what happens in work from home, we'll discuss about that. Homework, just shift of words, is an age-old phenomenon. We were doing homework when we were in school. We were doing homework when we were in college. But technology was not there. We always use the term. We have just shifted it, work from home, professional work from home. And I don't think it is any big deal. It is easy if you want to make it easy. It is tough if you want to make it tough. It will create some anxiety. It will create some pressure. Yes, you may miss on some learnings, but on the overall thing, if you're growing after a day's work, if you're given a presentation to a client sitting in the US through Zoom or through any other tech platform, or if you're into sales and if you've done a beautiful mobile conversation with him or her, or if you are into coding and if you're writing programs, and if you have written a wonderful program which gives the client a satisfaction, or if you're a freelancer and if you're giving freelancing services sitting on your corner of your home, it's okay. Important is not where your location is. Important is the quality of the work that you deliver. Yes, in the process, you may end up missing something, but that's a part of the game. If you were at office now, you also would have missed something else. That is also right perspective, right? Today is the time, now is the time to redefine the way you change the definition of the word corporate. Global corporations have defined and designed, Twitter, Google, others, they have officially allowed their employees to work from home as a part of some HR policies. And I'm a consultant, I'm crafting HR policies for many organizations. We did a small research for medium and small scale growing organizations in Gujarat. And around 45 enterprises which we kind of surveyed, we asked them a fundamental question. We asked them a question to CEOs. We asked them a question, very frankly, do let us know how many employees do we require to remain present in office without disturbing work? And the answer was an abysmal 30. Can you imagine? आप बिलीव कर सकते हैं कि अगर 100 बंदे ऑफिस में हैं तो लार्ज स्केल एंड मीडियम स्केल एंटरप्राइजेस को भी सिर्फ 30 लोग फंक्शनल चाहिए. Only 32 people are functionally, physically required to be present in office. What does that mean? Even before COVID, 70% of the staff was required, but their location was not important. We went down further in the research. I can share the research findings with you to Jairaj sir and can come to your institute to share if you permit later. When we went further to ask the entrepreneurs the question, then why the need for 100? Why are you paying extra rents? Why are you spending the cost of the AC? Why are you spending on meals? Why are you doing office modular furniture? Why on hell are you increasing your physical resource cost? Let them go and work from home if it is immaterial for them whether they are present or not. Friends, you will be zapped, you will be surprised, you will be amazed to know what answer the promoters of Gujarat-based enterprises gave. You will be surprised. They told, we are just wanting to massage our ego, our power of having to rule, having to control large teams. They have nothing to do here. And if you see, I'm going to talk about that. If you see entrepreneurial behaviors, if you see promoters' behaviors, and I work with large scale corporates as a consultant and as an employee, I know many, if not all, large amount of them want a large team just because they want to control them, just because they want to call them for meetings which have, meetings for discussions. Just by having more people on board, they can generate more work. I'm going to present to you two important perspectives. The two important perspectives are: what if you are an entrepreneur? Maybe you will become in the future. And if you don't become an entrepreneur in the future, at least if you do a job, you're going to do a job for an entrepreneur. I will include self employment in that. I will also include you, meaning you, the future employees, you, the people who are going to pick up the load of being corporate employees in the future. So, two perspectives. Let us go ahead and discuss the two perspectives. Let us first discuss the entrepreneur's perspective. We also include the manager's perspective here. And the question still remains, the research which I already talked about, the question remains as to why do entrepreneurs have large teams in the first place and make them come to offices when they actually don't need their physical presence to improve the functional output of the organization. The entrepreneur goal fundamentally always has been to earn profit or to survive or to grow. And I don't know how many of you know, but many organizations who have branch offices or who employ freelancers or those who have franchisees, they are in the office payroll, but they are never working from office. They work from their homes. So the question is, if the entrepreneur's core desire is to achieve the goal of profit, how does he achieve the profit? He employs resources like people, process, and technology. Now, to achieve the goal, what all does the questions which come in for the entrepreneur? One of the questions is why the employer or why the manager or why the entrepreneur is allowing the work from home to happen. One, he is allowing work from home to happen because of a government directive. Second, he himself is afraid what will happen. Many entrepreneurs don't want to care about, largely want to care about employee safety. For those who care, we'll invite them to office and take all the necessary precautions. But if you're in a containment zone and if you're not allowed to go at all by government regulations, you will not be allowed to go. Do I want to observe you directly? Does observation mean control or power? Or am I worried about my throughput? Or I am also worried about my technological readiness. I'm not technology qualified, and therefore I'm not wanting you to work from office and I'm wanting you to kind of work from home. But fundamentally, at the back of my mind, if I'm an entrepreneur, I will always want you to work from home minded because it saves my cost. If you are at home, you are using your own AC like I'm using now mine. If you are at home, you're drinking the home tea. If you are at home, you're using services of your mother, wife, father, sister, brother, I don't know who, maybe house servant, housemaid, and telling them to give you water. You're doing cost, you're using your own electricity. I don't think that the organization is paying. You're using your own internet. Maybe some organizations will sponsor the laptop or the other techno devices which you will have. But then, mind well, for all entrepreneurs who allow work from home to you, they have their own vested interests. So please don't worry. By staying at home or by staying anywhere, and you and your laptop becoming the next way of working at office, you are helping the entrepreneur's goal to be achieved. You are growing by working. Your mind is occupied. You're applying all the theories and frameworks that you learned in the institute. You're meeting people, albeit digitally. You're seeing the world. Don't worry. More important is not where you're working from, as I told earlier. More important is how are you taking the whole thing. Let us take an employee's perspective for a while. An employee in a work from home situation has a tendency to see it as a freedom, to see it as a measure of not being observed, see it as a measure of not being controlled. Please, friends, don't do it that way. For all the Zoom meetings and for all the other technology meetings that I do as a consultant for my corporates, I tell the employer and even my team, I measure it like that. I exactly know, if I'm using Zoom for that matter, I exactly know when you're logged in. I exactly know when you're logged out. I exactly know how much time your screen was on. I exactly know how much data was consumed. I am exactly knowing how much time you were there on your computer. The doubts that you as students may have as of now while you are preparing for a new work from home system are as the following. First question is, within HR subject or within the OB subject or within the management subject, we were never taught work from home. In some contexts, maybe all the managerial theories go for a toss. If I'm taught motivation, how do I apply motivation theory? If I'm taught performance appraisal, how is a manager going to appraise to me? Maybe sitting at home, I can give my computer access to someone else and someone else can do the work for me. I don't know. So maybe marketing, motivation, advertising, this, that, other, event management, strategy, maybe. Strategy was all about external environment. Students, friends, here is a big, big, big challenge for you. Even if you're not taught work from home, don't worry. Make a list of theory concepts and try them apply to the work from home phenomena. Nobody stops you from preparing small WhatsApp groups, preparing small breakout rooms in technology frameworks within your employee team, within your student team, and going ahead. The larger question is, what does work from home mean to me? Does it mean to me fun? Picking out? On a parallel note, some audio is running, some music is ringing, and because my mic is mute, the person doesn't know. I mean, fine. Who are you cheating? If you are cheating, and what is the fun in that cheating? If I'm paying you 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, whatever be the salary levels now, I'm not aware. If as an employer, if as an entrepreneur, I'm paying you an X amount, mind well, digitally or physically, wherever you are, I expect at least 15x returns. So if I'm paying you 20,000 per month, I demand at least 10 hours work from you, 25 days a month, 250 hours. And if I'm paying 20,000, you better give me a 3 lakh output. Better you give it. And I know how to measure you. If I have the guts to employ you, if I have the power to give you salary, mind well, I also have the power to check what you are doing. Remote controls in desktops are available. Team viewers are available. If you are working on a company given laptop, which ideally you will, or even if you're working on your own laptop or desktop, there are softwares which I don't want to name. They give access to the company of the whole desktop that you are doing. They know exactly how many windows are open. They know exactly which Google sites have you visited. They know exactly how many emails have you written. You better not cheat them, because in terms of cheating them, you're cheating yourself. Fun versus seriousness. Never use tech professionally. I have not used technology for my professional advantage. My home culture is at the biggest disadvantage. Yeah, I have used mobile, I have used Facebook, I have used Instagram, as ma'am was telling earlier. I have used many technologies. I have written emails, I have prepared presentations, but do I know how to run Zoom meetings? Do I know how to work on Google Meet? Do I know how to be present as a digital employee? No, I don't. But can I learn? Yes. Do I want to learn? But I don't know. Mind well, the whole corporate world, at least in India and global, is now searching for smart professionals like you. I was a part of the HR forum for Gujarat, and I'm in touch with around 25, 30 big HR leaders. A few of them are senior vice presidents and president HR, and a few of them are HR consultants. And on an open note, all of them have told us we are in search, we are in a hunt for young professionals who are tech savvy, who know how to work with technology. I was so happy and pleased when a young team of fifth year students managed the whole webinar. That is what the skill is required for. I also got some teaching from them. My home culture is at a disadvantage. The biggest question that I will face as a work from home employee would be, how do I develop an office culture in my home? My home is not so big. I usually work from balcony or my home. I don't know. How do I manage disturbance? Don't I have a 10-foot space? Don't I have a small cot where I can sit? Currently, I'm working out from my friend's home, my guest's home, and I've told people not to disturb. That can happen. Do I need a skill upgrade? Do I know the level at which I work on technology platforms? Many other challenges. I may miss my work relationships. I may miss my cutting chais. I may miss my work related travel. Fresh employees are made to travel far and wide, and new joinees love traveling. That you may have to manage. You will not be allowed to travel because of work from home. You will also miss direct learning from corporate culture. You will also miss office stories. You will also miss politics. You will also miss buddies. You will also miss dressing. You'll miss a lot. I understand. But it's a temporary phenomena. And if you really want to learn, you will learn even though you are in a work from home system. You will miss discipline and focus and control. A boss sitting on your head in another cabin, shouting at you, yelling at you, comforting you, giving you grace, giving you compassion, giving you training, giving you counseling. Yes, you will miss on a personal note, but they are also struggling. They also don't know how to take it ahead. If you support them, they're going to work for you. Now is the best time. Mind well, if you see the world history of corporate world, you will be able to find that greatest inventions, greatest discoveries, and even most positive innovations have been done in tough times and in recessions. Now is the time to come up. Now is the time to learn new skills. Now is the time to buck up and go on full throttle. Maybe work from home is not valid for all industries. Let us check. As for example, for B2C industries like retail, hospitals, consulting, maybe to some extent insurance, it is not valid. You have to go to the customer and you have to meet. But it is very strongly valid for some industries where direct connect is not available, maybe B2B, maybe for geographical areas where you're not allowed to travel. So spend some time. This is just June. Spend 15 days, 20 days, 1 month to understand who are you, what are you capable of doing, what are your key skills, what are your areas that you want to work on. Mind well, you are allowed to make maximum blunders. You are allowed to make maximum disasters and make them. Fail fast, fail forward. Make all the wrong choices that you can in the first 3 years of your career. Yeah, here is a big opportunity to do so. And then consolidate. Change industries if you wish to, but only in the first 2 years, first 3 years. Understand people, understand roles. Maybe something will be out. What we fail to do is we understand the world from a myopic perspective. We see things from a very short-term perspective. We only have a 6 month, 1 year vision. We only see the first job and the first salary. Sorry, not good. See yourself as a 20, 30-year-old career professional. What are you going to do? Do you want to start a business after 10 years? Do you want to start self-employment? Do you want to change industries? Do you want to start a franchisee? Or do you want to do business in the industry in which you're working? A lot of opportunities are available. Some perspectives on what you need to take care. I already mentioned actually. Mind well, you cannot run away. You're being observed. Self-motivation is the only way out. You have to keep yourself charged up. You have to keep yourself motivated. You and your laptop or you and your mobile. You're already doing that for all those PUBG enthusiasts. You played PUBG for what, 10 hours, 8 hours, 5 hours? For all video gamers, you never required anyone to boost you up to work, right? Now it's the same. You are there, your tech device is there, and your work is there. Maybe you have to motivate yourself. Maybe you'll do the work in the night. Maybe you'll do work in the day. Maybe you'll do work as told. Maybe you'll do work on your own. I don't know. I see the new normal emerging as a mix of the work from home and work out from home. It will not stay only work from home. There are some industries and there are some corporates which I know, they already started work from office again. Slowly it will be normal. If I have a small space, what will I do? Find out an energy. Mentoring will suffer. You will not get direct mentoring, I understand. There will be some physical issues. There will be some neck pain. There will be some back pain. There will be some psychological concerns. There will be some issues of talking. Find out a buddy. Find out a friend. Talk to your parents. Talk to your hostel friends. Have a group. Chat. Do all the things. Don't ever go out of human connect. We all know what goes if you go out of human connect. Just a small perspective before I close on. If you are a self-employed professional, maybe a CA, maybe a company secretary, maybe a digital marketing professional, maybe a coder, my sense is this is the right time to use work from home to develop world as a market. I'm myself a business growth coach. I'm very active and heavy into business growth coaching and consulting. These 45 days possibly have been the best days of my life. I undertook a certification program from Stanford on design thinking. I also did a short term program from IIM Bangalore. I also did a program on seeking certification on coaching from International Coaching Federation, which is world number one. And once I got through all these skills, I found to understand as a self-employed professional that Ahmedabad and Gujarat, the market which I was tapping for my own, was a very small market. The more I dwelled deeper into the digital world, the more I started thinking, doing, researching, I found that as a self-employed professional, world is a market. I'm now having consulting clients from the Southeast, from Dubai, from Singapore, and I'm in strong talks with two companies in the US, which I'm going to consult. So if you're a self-employed professional, work from home is the only way out. You need to use digital marketing, social media marketing, as Ms. Jain was telling, very actively. You need to reshape the skills basket. If you're a self-employed professional, there will be a requirement to kind of edit your business model too. Last slide. I've already been telling work from home is not a new phenomena. You as a student should be geared up, should pick up and work, do it as it is required to do, and develop the skills. What are the skills that are required? Digital communication is a skill which is required, right? You speak in front of audience, you speak in front of the camera. Take care always when you do digital speaking that your background is clear, as it is with me. While you are speaking, speak focusing on the lens, speak focusing on the camera eye. Digital backgrounds are also available. Check out that you always have a high speed internet connection. Check out that all listeners have muted themselves. Be in control. Use a mix of sharing and caring. Use the comment section if it is available, wherever available. Be energetic. I have played housey on digital mediums. We have done Antakshari and movie shows for corporates through the digital medium. We have done Tambola shows on digital medium. We have taken 3 day. I just conducted a 3 day workshop for a private limited company on SWOT analysis. Only on it. Imagine the importance of a small concept such as SWOT. A 3.5 day workshop, daily 4 hours, using Adobe Connect and WhatsApp groups, and they did the activities. And the feedback was, sir, we do not need office to go. But I worked very hard. I developed my skills. Using WhatsApp groups together along with technology is a very good way to go ahead. If faculty members are listening this, use of technology for your advantage is the best way to do. I just attended a webinar from University of San Francisco and Management Development Institute, MDI Gurgaon, on case writing, and there were 35 faculty members, and it was possibly one of the most best interactive program which I ever had. Training, teaching, consulting, selling, interviewing, pitching, presenting, traveling, viewing, everything is happening from the digital medium, and therefore location not being important. In these times, stay calm, stay cool, stay spirited. Don't worry, things are going to be happy. Unless otherwise, you are financially under distress. Unless otherwise, you have to go and feed your family, which I hope not all students will be, no one would be able to do. I don't know whether parents are going to tell you to give them money from the first month of your graduation. No, they will not. I would wish if some KS students also pursue higher education when the COVID thing settles down. Coursera, others, they are offering courses for free. Machine learning, deep learning, digital marketing, digital skills, Microsoft project, then GNAT charts and others. These are Excel. All MBA students should very super smart know Excel. Yeah. So content writing, there are 1,000 fields which are available. Let the things pass. I have a firm belief this too will pass away. When and how, sorry, I cannot comment, but it will pass away. When things have opened up, you've seen how fast things have become to normal. When the lockdown started, the fear was infinite and the cases were low. Now you see the cases are infinite, but the fear is low. So I request, urge, and want all of you who are listening and probably will listen later to accept the situation. to grow your skills, specifically work from home skills, to learn from experiences, to observe how your people are doing, to stay in touch with professionals like us, others, seniors, teachers, faculty members, mentors. Ask them, do your career profiling, check what skills are required, go to online assessments, and be cool, be calm, be spirited. I would end only by a quote by telling career is a long term game, job is not. Everything will go fine. Hoping to connect with you soon. I'm a bit unhappy with a very few number of participants, but I know because it's a digital medium, the session recording and the content will go to all 1,000 students, be the case may be. And if not all the 1,000, at least maybe the second year, the fifth year students of MSc IT and MSc MBA fifth year, the term 6 and 5 and 6. A special thanks to Dr. Jairaj Pandya for inviting all of us here, largely from the first batch. A special thanks to the digital team. I cannot remember all names, but all of them who manage this show together. A double special thanks to the faculty members who have prepared the students to be smarter. Mind well, we may always want to feel that KS is not a brand, but it is. We may always want to tell that KS has not given us what you wanted to. But when you see people like us, the first batch, the first 5 batches at least with whom I'm in touch, we have done wonders. People from our batch have been executive vice president in banks. They've crossed 200 crores of turnover. They're employing 50, 70, 80, 100 people. And all 94 of us who were a part of the first batch are successful, are stable, and are earning enough to guide their families to the next level. We also had our share of crisis. We also manage. You also manage in your own way. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I'm open to questions if any. Thank you so much. Pleasure. Yeah, Rajal, are you there?
Yeah, thank you, sir, for your valuable words. It was great listening to you. So, I have few questions for you. As you talked about crisis, so I want to ask that what were the few critical situations you faced during your startups, and how did you manage to tackle all those situations?
What were the few critical phases while I faced
Startups,
during
your startups.
while I began my journey? Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so I don't want to go in history, but life was tough. Life was tough. Our first batch actually built up the institute in more ways than one. We developed our own placement team. Apurva was heading it. We printed our own brochure. We went to the corporates. We tried all of the students will be placed. We faced 2 recessions. We faced the Y2K crisis. We faced economic recession. We faced political uncertainty. And all of these was kind of much, much, much bigger, much larger, much dangerous, much scarier, and much riskier than COVID. COVID is just a phenomenon. COVID is manageable. A global recession was not, right? And we had no mentors, we had no technology, but we fought it with spirit. We had buddies. All our 94, this just to mention to the students who are listening, we were 94 students in our batch, and all 94 are still in live connect. That is the amount of bonding that we have. And we turn over, before I began this session, in our case WhatsApp group, our friends WhatsApp group, I have around 45, 50 messages. Best wishes, Devang. Now 27 years of friendship is still there. We have invested in each other. And so all of us are available to help each other whenever we want them. I urge and request all students to make the best friendships with the college friends. They're going to help you in the future. God knows someone is going to take your interview in the future, right? So yeah, to answer your question, lot of crisis, lot of struggles, lot of fears, lot of anxieties, but we stayed put. We kept on learning, we kept on growing, we kept on sharing. Yeah.
Yeah. So next question is, you mentioned about freelancers. So what are the opportunities for making a career as a freelancer?
Career in?
Freelancing.
Oh, very good. Very good question. So freelancing is the way in. Freelancing is the way things will happen. What is freelancing? Freelancing is actually something between employment and entrepreneurship. Who is a freelancer? Freelancer is a person who gives fixed amount of hours based on his or her specific skill to a specific audience. That person is a freelancer. Now, humongous opportunities are available. Humongous. So I don't know, starting from, if you're good at drawing, if you're good at speaking, if you're good at doing Google, if you're good at making presentations, pick up a skill which is good to you and try and find a market for that skill. Try and put a price to that skill. And then you become a freelancer. Take it as a business, but don't run it like a business. Run it with passion. I know a landscape artist who is a freelancer. I know a Mendi person who is a freelancer. I know lots and lots of hosts, program host, program में आके जब बोलते हैं, so their rate is around per hour 20,000, 30,000, 15,000. I know people who are freelancers who will play housey for you. I know people, those are freelancers who tell stories. There are storytellers. I know people, those are freelancers, those who do cuddling, those who maintain people. I know people, those are freelancers, those who do pet training. Amazing world out there. So from the morning you wake up to the night you sleep, all services which you require, you will have freelancers. And they are big entrepreneurial opportunities. Big B2B, B2C, tech-based, amazing, huge money.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
So
you.
once again, thank you, sir and ma'am, for your precious time and for giving your knowledge to us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Any help from our side, we are always available. Please kindly connect. Jairaj sir knows us personally, so we can connect. Thank you. It was a pleasure. I am disconnecting.
So I would also like to thank to our audience for staying with us through the entire session. We look forward to seeing you at the next event, which is on 16 June, that is tomorrow at the same time. The topic is new ideas that the potential entrepreneurs can look forward to after COVID-19, and our speaker is Mr. Diwan Patel. So if you have not registered yet, so please do soon. See you tomorrow. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.